We are at the Lincoln High School Fieldhouse for boys varsity basketball, along with our producer and videographer David Ballerstein. I'm Milt Van Atta here to call the action for you between the Red Raiders of Lincoln High School and the DC Everest Evergreens. These two teams looking to close out this regular season schedule here tonight with placings in the Valley at stake. For Everest, they're fighting for a share of second. Lincoln is fighting for a share of third. And they have played once earlier this year up at Everest, a game that Lincoln won. So we expect a very competitive basketball game, just as we saw in our last broadcast between Lincoln and Merrill. Connor Dickinson is number 11. He's a junior. Stephen Weir, also a junior. Riley Peterson, so we'll have a Riley Presley and a Riley Peterson in this basketball game. Grant Van Grinsven and Jake Giebert, perhaps the best Evergreen player. So you've got Dickinson, Weir, Peterson, Van Grinsven, and Giebert. Let's take a look at the Raider lineup now. They're all seniors. It's senior night. They have 6 seniors, so one of those, Jason Weirnick, will not start tonight, but these 5 young men will. Charles Miller gets the nod in the starting lineup tonight, his first start. Hunter Langhoff. Riley Presley, the Raiders' leading scorer. Tom Olson. And Alex Baziner. So your Raider 5 to start the game: Langhoff, Presley, Tom Olson, Baziner, and Charles Miller. So a final celebration for that Red Raider group before they take the floor for what is most likely to be their final game on this particular basketball floor. They'll be in state tournament playoff action beginning next week on the road at Oshkosh West for a regional semifinal game. Riley Presley's the man that will jump center against Jake Giebert, and we are underway. The Evergreens in black with green trim and green lettering, along with the white piping. The Raiders in their familiar home white with red. You're watching Red Raider basketball on River City's Community Access Media. Jake Giebert takes a look against Presley and then pulls it out. Raiders out in the man-to-man. Again, they try to get it into Giebert. Instead, it is Peterson who swings it over to Stephen Weir. Presley switches out now. Drive, and it's blocked away by the Raiders and picked up by Miller. At the top of the key, Miller gave it a thought. Presley tries to shake free, comes to Langhoff, who will not resist the open three, and it's off the bracket and down to Stephen Weir of the Evergreens. Then Grinsven at the top. Now off the wing, a 3 on the way. It's too strong, and Presley will tip it to Tom Olson. The Raiders get it back a minute and a half in and no score. Zener gets the screen from Miller. Now Presley will load up the 3. Riley Presley, who notched 26 against Merrill, gets the first bucket of the night. Quick flash inside. And now the kick to the corner. Everest, here's the drive into a triple team, and a whistle and a foul against the Raiders. Charles Miller gets the foul.
Number 14, Charles Miller, his first team first.
Peterson. Olsen got a hand on that one. They want to get this ball inside. They do to Dickinson, and as he goes cross court, he throws it out of bounds. But last touch by the Raiders, so it'll be Everest to inbound. Flashing to the basket and dropping it to Dickinson, who's fouled by Miller, and they count the basket. Connor Dickinson, the 6'4" forward, gets the basket and is fouled by Miller to boot. And Connor has a chance now to tie up the game. Corey Heckel is the head coach of the Evergreens. Dan Witter, as we are well familiar, the Red Raider head coach. So we're tied at 3, a minute 45 into the first quarter. Tom Olsen will fire the 3, and it's an air ball short. Here comes the breakout. It's Dickinson that gets Presley in the air with the pump fake and then lays it in. 5-3 Evergreens. Presley for a 3. It's short. And we've got Charles Miller, who is battling there with Stephen Weir, and Weir picks up the foul. So Jason Weirnick will get a call. Miller will check out. And number 4, Jared Halber, also checks in. That one's deflected and stolen on the inbounds by Peterson. Long 3, Giebert. And he drains it. It's 8-3, 8 straight here for the Evergreens. It's Presley. Langhoff. They'll give that 3 from the top of the key all night, it would appear, until the Raiders start knocking some down. Baziner, he has an air ball 3 from the top, and now the Raiders have fired 3 straight 3-pointers that have been off. So they're struggling to find their offensive rhythm. Remember that they really struggled in our last game against Merrill with that offensive consistency early and offensive balance all night. Dickinson right back to the hoop. Fights for his own rebound, but Presley takes it away. Halber pushes. Hunter Langhoff in rhythm. Now Baziner tries to get it back to Langhoff, and he throws it away. So it's another ragged start here on the offensive end for the Red Raiders. 8-3 Evergreens, 3.5 to go first quarter. This is Austin Behrens. They battle for that loose ball. Langhoff saves it into Baziner, and then what's the call? Who gets the foul call here? Is it? They're going to call a travel. They are going to confer a no foul, rather a travel. First it was the Everest fans who were irate, now it's the Red Raider fans. Derek Recchi is checked into the game as well for the Evergreens. This is Recchi. Looks for a flashing Peterson, and Now they hit Langhoff for a foul. And a violation here against the Evergreens. No, it's a foul against Van Grinsven. And that will give it back to the Raiders with 3:07 to go here in the first quarter.
And number 21, Van Grinsven for Evergreen.
Ernick takes a look inside at Presley. Now Riley right back in there to Jason. He's got a post-up position, but he kicks it back out to Presley, who traveled as he started that drive toward the basket. Brady Ukert has checked into the game. So the Evergreens have already played 8 players in the first 5 minutes of the basketball game. Riley Peterson drives into a triple team off the glass. He put it in. 10-3 Everest. Presley, and he's fouled. It was Derek Recchi that tried to steal it away as he came over to double team. And he gets whistled for the foul. Each team now with 3 fouls. Ernick having some trouble. He'll send it deep to Baziner. Now the flash into Presley, who's wide open. And that stops the Everest run and gets Lincoln back to within 5 at 10-5. Van Grinsven, and he traveled. So we've got a choppy start both ways in this one. And we also have fresh troops. Zaner thought about that 3. Ben Olsen driving, and he gets bumped hard by Riley Peterson.
That foul was on number 15, Riley Peterson, his first team 4.
I can't understand why they ever supposed to be playing that. The guy just simply bumped him, he just ran into.
And another travel. We've had a handful and more of those here tonight. I can think of at least 5 traveling violations in this first quarter between these two teams combined. The 3 on the weak side, stepping into Dickinson, who waits for his man to go by and lays it in. Connor Dickinson has quite a first period going. He's got 7 points, and that's the margin for the Evergreens, 12-5. We're under a minute for the first quarter. Ernick will let the jumper go. The rebound comes down to Stephen Weir. Three by Riley Peterson. 15-5 in favor of the Evergreens. We're under 30 seconds, and looks like the Raiders will take it down and get the final shot of this first quarter. Now we hit the 10-second mark. Baziner penetrates to about 12. Off no good. 4 seconds for Riley Peterson. 2. And the shot will count if it goes, but it does not. Well, just last Friday night, Lincoln played Merrill, and after one quarter they were down 13-6. And Riley Presley was the only Raider that scored in the first quarter. Tonight, after one quarter, it's 15-5 in favor of Everest. And Riley Presley is the only Raider to score. He's got all 5 for Everest, Dickinson 7, Peterson 5, Hebert 3. So after one, it's 15-5 Everest, River City's Community Access Media.
Wisconsin Rapids has an app that allows anyone to report and track issues anywhere in the area. You can help us find issues that may need repair or the city's attention, like a damaged sidewalk, graffiti, or a pothole. With your smartphone or tablet, just snap a picture, and after a few simple clicks, report the problem to us. Your location is submitted automatically when you submit your report. You can also check on the progress of the report anytime. Download the app from the App Store or our website at wirapids.org, making Wisconsin Rapids a better place, one click at a time.
15-5 Everest after one. And once again, very similar to the Merrill game played last Friday night. And once again, Lincoln faces digging out of a hole because of a rough period on the offensive end. Helber and Buziner, Wiernick, Presley, and Tom Olson are the 5 out there for the Raiders. Greer gets a hand on that one and deflects it out of bounds. Wiernick at the foul line. 3 on the way from Tom Olson is ripped down by Jake Giebert. Here's Giebert. Rebound and oh my. Tom Olson committed the foul, but we're far more concerned about his spill to the floor.
His first, team 4.
Everest uses a rotation that is far more extensive than most high school teams, even really good high school teams do.
Number 3, Eric Reach, back lineup for the Evergreen.
They will play 8 to 10 young men. Dickinson off the post up, too hard off the glass. Buziner ahead. Here comes Olson to the basket, and the foul against Grant Van Grinsven. Oh my, Tom Olson picked up the foul. I'm sorry, I just responded to my own look at the play, and it's a foul against Grant Grinsven, set himself, drew the foul from Tom Olson. 5th Raider foul. Hebert is double teamed. 3 on the way, too strong by Reich. Follow, and it's Giebert with the basket. It was Van Grinsven that did the dirty work to keep the possession alive, and Giebert scores to make it 17-5. Dickinson knocks it away. Presley gathers it in the corner. Riley Presley smothered by that zone. Here's a 3. Off no good, but Hunter Langhoff rebounds, follows, off the rim no good. And then Giebert is whistled and called for the foul. So both teams with 5 fouls on the scoreboard. A little over 2 minutes into the second quarter. There's Reich stealing it away. We're coming with him to the basket and blocked beautifully by Baziner. Wide open man on the baseline. Rimming it off. Dickinson keeps it alive, and he scores again. And a timeout by Dan Witter. His team now down by 14 at 19-5. And we're not even midway through the second quarter. As these teams take a break, we'll take a break. You're watching Red Raider basketball on River City's Community Access Media. We resume play with Alex Baziner carrying it into the front court for the Raiders. Presley spins out of the double team but misses again. This game is so familiar in texture to that Merrill game. Backdoor cut. And it's Reich that misses. Good help defense by the Raiders there. Helberg. Wernick hard into the lane. Presley thought about the three. Now he'll attack the basket and he'll draw a foul. And Derek Reich picks it up.
That foul is on number 3. Derek Reich, second. Team 6.
It's a shooting foul, so Presley now will
Riley Presley.
go to the line.
First shot is up and
This is that first free throw.
Number 5, Austin Jerry, Cynthia Evergreen.
The Raiders have 5 and Presley has them all. And he gets that one. So it's 19-6. And the Raiders come out with the full court pressure. And the Evergreens with Corey Heckel make a quick timeout to instruct the troops on how to deal with that pressure. Now, if you did get the chance to see the game against Merrill, you remember that was when the Raiders went to the full court pressure that not only did they create some havoc, but it improved their offense and got their offense going against Merrill and got them back into the game. They were then able to took the better course of the game to pull back into it, but they worked their way back into the game when things turned around with the full court pressure, and they're going to try that again here tonight to get the offense going through the defensive pressure. We got to get it in here. They used up most of that 5 seconds to finally find Giebert. Try to lob it deep. Wernick steals. Powers to the basket. Underlays. Presley had it, and he lost it out of bounds. Side Giebert working into a triple team and a jump ball call. Possession arrow stays with the Evergreens. It's Riley Peterson along the baseline, tried to force it into Giebert. Stolen by Wernick. Zener to the basket. He's fouled on the way in by Stephen Weir. Well, the pressure is up. The defensive pressure is getting stops on the defensive end and is disrupting the Evergreens offense. That part of the desired effect has occurred. Now we'll see if the Raiders can start scoring some points. because we are 4 seconds short of 12 minutes into the basketball game, and they have 6 points on the board. You're just not going to win scoring a point every other minute. Zehner gets a second free throw attempt here, and he missed them both. And we get Helber tied up with Giebert, and who gets whistled for the foul? I think it was Giebert no, I'm sorry, it was Jared Helber who got whistled for the foul. So one more foul against the Raiders, and the Evergreens will be in the bonus as well. Peterson with the runner, he's fouled, and he gets the bucket. (21-6). Fouls committed by Tom Olson. Excuse me, Ben Olson, 15. And he misses the free throw. Remains 21-6. On the drive, ball on the floor. Zehner loads a three. Rebound to Dickinson. Ukert, one-on-one against Langhoff. Lost it on the drive, kicked it to Peterson. The Evergreens settle things down, reset the offense. Wernick has his man, Barron's tied up. So he comes to Van Grinsven. The drive and a whistle and a foul. They get Langhoff here, fouling Ukert on his way to the basket, and it's time to shoot 1+1 now on each foul.
That foul is number 2, Hunter Langhoff. His first headline shooting number 43 for Ukert.
And Ukert becomes the fourth man to score for the Evergreens. Listen to this. We're under 3 minutes for the second quarter. Grand total of 5 players have scored in this basketball game. Out of the double team, that ball knocked away. The Raiders get it back. Langhoff trapped on the baseline. Here's Ben Olson. Well, maybe that'll help get the Raiders going offensively. The long three by Ben Olson, 22-9. Steal. Wernick got his hand on it again. He pushes it up to the foul line. Langhoff could have stepped into a three there. Pulls it out. Steal. Taken away by Barron's. Now Langhoff dives for it after nearly stealing it. So the Evergreens bring it back into the front court. Spinning to the basket, blocked by Wernick. He's really been active recently with steals, and there a block. Zehner drops it to Presley. Minute and a half, Zehner forces his way in. Rebound on the floor, Zehner pulls it out. Langhoff from 17. And Peterson up to get the board. He pushes it out. Now it's 2-on-2 as a man to the hoop, and Ukert going up, lost it out of bounds. Raiders need a little run here. It'd be perfect to to have a little run before the halftime break. Work their way back into this one. Right now they're down 22-9. Second quarter has been more even than the first, but the Raiders still with a pretty significant hill to climb. Knocked away as they tried to get it into Presley. Again, Euchre's ahead of the field. He drops it back to Giebert, and then Wernick commits the foul. Now, the last time down, Euchre went up, and he lost the ball as he went up, and I think that was actually in his mind that he had lost it, and so he dropped it back to Giebert, who found the ball behind him, and he was able to bring it in, but then was fouled.
Number 5, Austin Bear, for the Everest.
Wernick's first foul of the night sends Giebert to the line for a 1-and-1. He missed it. Rebound battled. Evergreens pull it in. Out of the double team. Ball's loose. It's going to be stolen by Presley. Riley ahead, sifting through men. Baziner from the corner. 3 on the way. So a couple of threes give the Raiders a big run here. Just what they needed to get back and feel that they were in this game at halftime. 22-12 now after the Baziner 3. "13 seconds for the half, and Riley Peterson is guarded by Ben Olson. 5 seconds. 3 seconds. Oh, that was an offensive foul as Van Grinsven put his hand right into the defender and pushed him off. There is 0.9 seconds to go, so this will have to be they'll have to throw it in, and the man who touches it inbounds will have to immediately heave it for the basket. Wernick gets it off. Oh my, just to the right. So a better period for the Raiders. Each team, though, scores 7 points, and at halftime, the deficit is the same as it was after 1. It's Everest 22, Lincoln 12. As you watch Lincoln Red Raider basketball on River City's Community Access Media. We're all set for the second half. The Raiders still trying to dig out of another first quarter hole. 22-12 Everest at the half with Dickinson's 9, Peterson's 7, Giebert's 5, and Euchre's 1. For the Raiders, Presley has 6. Baziner and Olson have 3 each. That was the extent of the Raider offense in the second quarter. The 3-pointers by Baziner and Olson and a free throw by Presley. That's the piece the Raiders have to get figured out. 22 points allowed is not a problem. Scoring just 12 is a huge problem, as we have seen in this basketball game. Raiders throw it away on their opening possession, and the Evergreens get it back. Lincoln's got Tom Olson, Hunter Langhoff, Riley Presley, Alex Baziner, Jason Wernick, the 5 men who have started for most of this season. Down inside, Riley Peterson, who is not a big kid at 6 foot. He's just a sophomore, but boy, he's an impressive looking sophomore. 24-12. Everest has doubled up the Raiders. Lob is in for Presley. Beautiful pass by Wernick as Riley Presley touches it off the glass and in. 24-14. Dickinson into trouble, and Langhoff's got the steal. Raiders pushing it up. Langhoff. Oh, it's Tom Olson to the basket, just underlays it, and Dickinson gets the rebound. Peterson.
We're back here at the field.
Oh, stolen away. It's Baziner that gets the steal. Tom Olson.
The Red Raiders.
The Raiders turning it up defensively. 2 steals in 3 offensive possessions for the Evergreens. Presley is going to step into the lane and be triple teamed. What a beautiful pass to Langhoff, who underlays. Oh, that was a beautiful no-look pass. Right into the back door. And we get a whistle.
Official timeout.
And I think that the call here is that Van Grinsven has blood somewhere in the nose. It looks like he got popped in the nose, and so he'll have to leave the game.
Still trail by 10. Right side.
Raiders desperate need of a run to tighten the game up as we head for the middle part of the third quarter. Giebert punched out of scoring position by Presley. Short jumper and a foul as Wiernick hits Reike, and he'll shoot 2.
That ball's on number 32. Jason Wernick is second. Team first. Headline shooting number 3, Derek Reach.
Derek Reike, 5'8" junior, makes the first. And he gets a pair. So it's back up to a 12-point margin for the Evergreens at 26-14. Zener dropping for Wiernick.
Goodbye, Jason Wernick. Assist from Alex Baziner.
26-16. Oh. Crowd oohs and ahs with me as Baziner backpedaled and nearly lost his balance. Dickinson inside, pump faked the Raiders into the air, and then as he went up, got hit pretty hard by Riley Presley.
Foul number 3, Riley Presley hits first.
So back to the line will go Dickinson. Connor Dickinson is a 6'4" junior. This is an Everest team that will be competitive in the Valley again next year because they are led by juniors and an impressive sophomore in Peterson. Their only senior starter is Van Grinsven, and he is not one of the focal players that they have. Presley. It's 27-16 in favor of Everest. They're plus 11. Matchup 2-3 zone here. Presley hits double figures to lead the Raiders with 10. And this is the first time now in a while that the lead for the Evergreens has been under 10. It's 27-18. Dickinson with the head fake against Wiernick. Nowhere to go for Peterson. Giebert lays it in. So Peterson got cut off by Tom Olson. He went back at it and probed the lane again and then found a wide open Giebert for the lay-in. 29-18, 3. And Baziner knocks down a 3, and now we've got an 8-point game at 29-21. Lincoln outscoring Everest 9-7. We've had far more scoring in this third quarter than in any other period so far tonight. 20 total points in the first period. We then had 14 total points in the second quarter. But here already in this quarter, as we just mentioned, we've had 16 points and we have 3.5 minutes to go. The game starting to gain some pace and some tempo that is conducive to better basketball. One interesting note is that Everest has not committed a foul here in the second half. Raiders is just 2, and again, that's contributed to the better pace and better tempo that the game has had as well. Dickinson knocked away by Wiernick. Giebert's jumper was blocked by Presley. Rebound to Baziner. Ahead for Presley. He's going to attack the basket and fouled by Dickinson as he went up. See if they call this a shooting foul. They will, and Riley Presley will head to the line, with Lincoln a chance to shave some more points off the lead here. They're down 8 as Presley shoots.
Riley Presley.
And a pair for Presley. 29-23. This is the closest that the Raiders have been since it was 10-3. Lincoln scored the first 3 points of the game. The Evergreens ripped off 10 straight. And it got to be 10-3. Lincoln made it 10-5, and then Everest pulled out from that 10-5 point and has had a fairly comfortable lead until now, 29-23, under 3 minutes in the third quarter. Weir, Peterson. Giebert comes to get it. Raiders dug in defensively, and they'll get Hunter Langhoff on a hand check. Langhoff's second personal. Oh, thrown away, but it comes into the hands of Van Grinsven of the Evergreens. Almost another turnover forced by the Raiders. Open jumpers, Weir. Presley stretches out to get the rebound. Zener fakes back to the baseline and lays it in. And now it's 29-25. Lincoln to within 4. Remember, they started this period. There's a ball on the floor. They battle, but Zener's got it. He's going to go ahead of the field and miss the lay-in, but Presley's got it. Ball's loose, comes to Baziner. And now Helber says, we're just going to settle it down for a minute. And Presley says, no, I'm going to fire a 3. 29-28. Everest leads Lincoln by 1 with 1:16 to go in the third quarter. Lincoln outscoring the Evergreens now 16-7 in the period. Presley leads the way with 15 and Baziner has 8. Well, the next step for the Raiders is to resume the lead. They led one time in this basketball game at 3-0. And since then, since the Evergreens took the lead early on in the first quarter, Lincoln has been fighting uphill, but now they're within 1, and they have the momentum in the basketball game with the very strong and productive third quarter. One minute for the third quarter. Everest with the ball in a 1-point edge. Reike guarded by Baziner. Elber almost got a hand on that Peterson dribble. Flashing down, they go on the baseline. Weir, wide open man. Van Grinsven pump fakes and then lays it in for his first 2 of the night. 31-28 with 23 seconds to go. Lincoln will, looks like, play for 1 here to end the period. "12 seconds for the third. Baziner thought about the 3, now he's going to drive, finds a man, Wiernick blocked away and out of bounds. They say the period is over. Everest leads at 31-28, but an outstanding period that Lincoln wins 16-9 to get back in the basketball game, and we should have an exciting finish. After 3, Everest 31, Lincoln 28. You're watching Red Raider basketball on River City's Community Access Media. The Evergreens will get it to start the fourth period, +3. Helber, Langhoff, Presley, Baziner, Wiernick on the floor. Giebert's out there with Weir and Peterson and Dickinson and Ukert. A share of second is online for the Evergreens, a share of third online for the Raiders. And they're going to get Dickinson for an offensive foul as he just lifted Wiernick out of the way.
Connor Dickinson, the second, team second.
At the top, Langhoff. Wiernick spins inside, and they will get Peterson for a foul. It'll be the third against Everest, so now both teams will have 3 team fouls here in the second half.
His second, team third.
Presley had it poked away by Dickinson. Out ahead, it's Ukert. The trailer is Giebert. 33-28. So 4 straight for the Evergreens since the Raiders pulled within 1. Boy, Langhoff could take that three if he'd want it. It really will give it to any Raider at the top. They sag to the foul line when a Raider gets it at the top. Zener behind the screen for three. Oh, it rimmed out. But Langhoff got the rebound. He follows it up and in. Langhoff set the screen, got the offensive rebound, and scored the bucket. 33-30. Everest +3 with 6 minutes to go now in the basketball game. Kurt is fouled by Zener. And you can see again now over the course of the last few minutes how the fouls break up the pace and the tempo of the game. We had very few fouls for a period of about 10 minutes on the game clock. And we had great pace and tempo in the basketball game, and now the fouls are picking up again, and the tempo and the pace is starting to drag from what it was in that third quarter. But yet we should expect that in a close game as we head down the stretch, that there will be a number of fouls from the intense and close play that will be going on. Three here. It's too flat, but Dickinson gets the board, and he missed the no-footer. And the rebound down to Langhoff for the Raiders. Lincoln down three. Presley. Wernick will be double teamed, and he'll kick it out to Langhoff. Over off the double team at the foul line. Three, Zener for the tie. We're tied at 33. Zener has 11 on senior night. So we're all tied up with 4.5 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. And a whistle stops play here. They're going to get Alex Zener for a foul. No, Hunter Langhoff, excuse me. His third and the team's fifth, so still a little bit away from the Raiders putting the Evergreens in the penalty. We'll get Ben Olson to check in. And Langhoff will go out. Tie game, 33-33. Flashing into the lane. Weir kicks it back out to Reike. Giebert, one-on-one with Presley, corner. Stepping back for the three, Riley Peterson. He's got 12 to lead the Evergreens, and they forge back in front by 3. Presley, and a foul. 36-35 as Presley gets the basket in the foul.
Riley Presley. Assist from Jason Wernick.
For the tie. 18 for Presley after 26 on Friday against Merrill. A big week for Riley. And a tie game again at 36. Peterson the runner. Since the game has gotten tied, Peterson, the sophomore, has scored 5 straight, 38-36 in favor of Everest. Presley out of the triple team. Out of the corner for the tie, Olsen, for the lead, not the tie, and Wiernick with the tip. Ties the game at 38 with 2.5 to go. Weir gathers it in. Just watching this game would tell us that I don't know who Everest will end up taking the shot, but they want either Peterson or Giebert. No, will Weir take it? We wanted to drop it off to Van Grinsven, and they turn it over. So with 1:58 to go, Lincoln takes a timeout. And they will get the basketball with a chance to take the lead. It's 38 all, and you're watching Red Raider basketball on River City's Community Access Media. Lincoln basketball, under 2 minutes to go. And we're all tied up at 38-38. Lincoln outscoring Everest 16-9 in the third, and now by a 10-7 count in this fourth quarter. Had another blood issue that we needed to get taken care of. Riley Presley, looks like he had to get a bandage on his right thumb. We know the Raiders will be patient on this possession, won't they? Wiernick, Helber in the corner. So sophomore on sophomore with Olsen against Peterson. Under 1:30 for the game. Will the Raiders try to take it all the way down and get the last shot? I would think that if they get an opportunity before that, they would be happy to take it, but they'll be patient to get a good opportunity. Helber took a peek inside at Ben Olsen, but they send it back out to Baziner at the top. Under a minute now. And it's beginning to look more and more like, oh, there's the man open, but the Evergreens covered up quickly and double-teamed Olsen. 45 seconds for the fourth. Then Olsen starts a drive to the basket, and he missed the layup. Rebound comes to Reike. And with 30 seconds to go, the Evergreens have it. And they'll call a timeout with 30.9 seconds to go.
You're playing for the last shot. What are you doing taking that drive?
You can't ask me that. I don't know. I thought they were playing for the last shot.
They were. The other teammates are all looking at Ben and going, what are you doing? I don't want to talk to Dan if they lose this game.
But you get to anyway.
I get to.
30.9 seconds left. Lincoln brings Langhoff, Helber, Baziner, Wiernick, and Presley out defensively. It will be Weir and Reike and Dickinson and Giebert and Peterson for the Evergreens. And they call a timeout as They didn't have a clean look to get it in. And this, I believe, will be a 22nd timeout. Yep, short timeout here. So just talk about, each team will briefly talk about what they want to do, and we'll once again play out these final 30.9 seconds. Will we be looking at an overtime? Two teams in the top half of the valley battling it out for year-end position to get ready for the tournament, which will begin for both squads next week. Again, where to throw it in. And they break Peterson free, and the sophomore has it. We keep one eye on the clock with 24 seconds to go. 17 seconds to go. 10 seconds to go. 7 seconds. Dickinson. 4 seconds. Be Gieber to let it go. And we will play overtime. Tied at 38. It was a good look. Giebert's one of their best players, and he got a 15-footer. Open look from the foul line, and just left it a little bit short. So we will play half of a quarter, 4-minute overtime period.
The overtime period starts in 4 minutes. There'll be a center jump to start the overtime. Each team will gain 1 extra timeout in the overtime.
We're still a ways away from shooting free throws on the common fouls, as the Raiders have committed 5 fouls in the half, and Everest has just committed 4. 7 is when you begin shooting the 1-and-1. So both teams with fouls to give. Lincoln will bring out that same 5 that finished the game, as will Everest. So we'll jump it up and start over, tied at 38. And Weir will bring it down. And Everest starts off the overtime. Double team. Weir's in trouble. He's in big trouble. Stolen by Langhoff. And he stepped down the sideline. Double team, steal, Presley coming down with Peterson. And a foul will send Presley to the foul line. Peterson's third. We have a number of players who are reaching that level of 3 fouls or so. Lincoln takes the lead. Been a long night getting to that point, but now the Raiders have pushed ahead 39-38. Back-to-back games with 20 or more points for Riley Presley. 26 against Merrill last Friday, 20 against Everest tonight. Will the Evergreens respond to trailing? Zener gets the foul.
That foul is number 21 on Zener, his second. Team 6.
Evergreens will inbound along the far side. Dickinson's open, blocked away. And we're going to get a, Dickinson will get the basket because one of the Raiders touched the net when the ball was in the cylinder. That's a basket interference. While the ball was in the cylinder, one of the Raiders touched the net, and that is not allowed. So it'll be 40-40 with 2:54 to go. Dan Witter pleads his case, and as always, to no avail. 40-40. Helber for three, rimming it off. Dickinson rebounds. Langhoff overplaying on Weir. Now Giebert. And Grinsven steps to the foul line. He does not want to shoot it in this situation, tied in overtime. Sometimes you're going to look at a player and tell they do not want to have anything to do with taking that shot, and he didn't there. Under 2 minutes for the overtime. Flashing inside. Stephen Weir's first bucket of the night. 42-40 Everest. And we get a Lincoln timeout. 42-40 Everest with a minute 51 to go in overtime number 1.
Thank our students for coming out tonight, supporting our high school Red boys basketball team on senior night. Again, thanks to our student body for coming out and supporting our fellow students and classmates here at Lincoln High School.
Lincoln trails by 2 out of the timeout. We're in overtime. And Alex Baziner is fouled. It's Ukert who gets the foul. Now both teams have accumulated 6 team fouls, so we're headed to the bonus with the next team foul for each team. Wernick's going to heave it all the way back to Baziner in the backcourt. Alex has had a good night. He's in double figures with 11. 2 Raiders in double figures. Lob to Wernick out of the double team. For Wernick again, stripped away, stolen. And from behind, it's knocked out of bounds by the Raiders' Wernick. It's Everest basketball with a minute 4 to go. 42-40. point do the Raiders choose to foul here? Because the Evergreens do not have to shoot, they don't have to score. And there's a foul. It's going to send Stephen Weir to the line. Weir is a 5'11" junior, and he'll shoot 1+1. Fairly significant free throws with 50.5 to go in the overtime. Everest holds a 2-point edge. Presley with the rebound. And Lincoln can tie or take the lead. One eye on the clock, one eye on the floor. 35 seconds for the overtime. And a whistle and a Lincoln timeout. 22nd or short timeout with 30.3 seconds to go.
I'd like to thank a couple people at the high school for putting many hours work here at the high school, helping our student athletes succeed. That's one of them is Mr. Bill Whitmore, our athletic director, spends many hours and nights here helping students in many events and events, as well as Mr. from McDonald Associates, who comes here every night to make sure our students are healthy and safe. Thanks to both of them for all their hard work during this last winter sports season.
Well, it'll be interesting to see how this final Raider possession unfolds. A three can give you a victory, or we could have a second overtime. Into Baziner. Lob for Presley. Out of the double team to Wiernick with 19. Presley thought about the three, near steal to top by Ukert. 13 seconds to go. 10 seconds to go. Here's Olsen kicking it off to Ben Olsen. 4 seconds. Presley's going to have to heave it for the win. Everest wins it in overtime, 42-40. Peterson 14, Dickinson 12, Giebert 9, Van Grinsven 2, Reiki 2, Ukert 1. For the Raiders, Presley 20, Baziner 11, Wiernick 4, Ben Olsen 3, Hunter Langhoff 2, and a heartbreaking loss on senior night for the Red Raiders, who drop it 42-40. So they're off to tournament play next week at Oshkosh West. And we will see you again soon on River City's Community Access Media. For our producer and videographer, David Ballerstein, I'm Milt Van Adt. It's been our pleasure to bring it to you right here on River City's Community Access Media.